Welcome to Ask Me Anything, featuring spiritual medium and psychotherapist Kellee White.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Ask Me Anything. I'm spiritual medium, psychotherapist, and author Kellee White. And it's November 6th, 2025. So let me say hi to a few people, and I'm going to jump on the month of November. And the crazy month it is. So we'll just start with a few hellos here. Hi, Sherry Craft. You're looking at real estate in Humboldt and clicked on the dot, and it was 444,000. Yeah, that would be a sign. 444 is always a sign. 444 means the angels. Could be definitely be a sign for you, Sherry, for sure. And then you had the next day you saw a button and it was 1111. Well, we're going to be talking about that 1111 portal, but 1111 is also very, very significant. This is certainly a time the universe is going to be giving us lots of numbers, lots of signs out there for sure. For sure. Hi, Melissa. Yeah, this is going to be a big energy, Melissa. We'll talk about that. It's been chaotic for your dad's friend. Yeah, I bet this is a chaotic time, actually. Hi, Miranda. Can you have a card for Cat Weasel? I'm not sure what Cat Weasel is. Cat Weasel. Cat Weasel. I won't forget that, though. I don't know what Cat Weasel is. Some people, God bless, are trying to find him and insist that they have his number. That's very funny. I cannot believe that. Cat Weasel. Mr. Cat Weasel. Okay, thank you. I'll be laughing about that, Cat Weasel. Hi, Angela. Hi, Renee. How are you doing? She says, what an absolutely incredible energy the full moon is. Forget a thin veil. It feels like no veil. Right on, Renee. It really does feel that way. My gosh. Spirit has been moving things in the house. Yeah, that would be like a no veil situation when they start moving things. Wow. Hi, Jean. Looking forward to today. Hi, Jean. I'm so glad to see you. Hi, Sasha. And you're looking forward to the predictions of our intergalactic neighbors and the near and close future. It is a very exciting time. It's a very chaotic time. Lots of words we could use to describe this energy. Leslie says, how are you? I'm good. Thank you. Most beautiful full moon last night. It was spectacular full moon. It was spectacular. Of course, I'm going to view it a little differently. It was really one of probably the most beautiful moon of the year. It was spectacular. The light was so bright that it was shining into our room, and it woke me up. I thought Don was putting a flashlight on me. It was the full moon. So we are going to talk about that full moon. Hi, Dee Dee. Hoping November is full of love and light for all. Well, Dee Dee, hope springs eternal. Me too. Me too, girl. I sure hope so. Leslie, how about this one? Acquired an 8-month-old dog today. Whoa, Leslie. Unfortunately, he is loaded with fleas and ticks. Yikes. And I've had to get all kinds of medicine and so forth. What a great surprise. Well, first of all, congratulations on the new baby. An 8-month-old dog is a lot. It's a handful. My daughter has a 6-month-old puppy, and he's a handful. But sweet as pie. Sweet as pie. Laura says, hi, beautiful Kellee. Time seems like it's sped up. It sure does, Laura. It sure does. Hi, Linda Kay. Hi, Sarah Stone. Hi, Toby. Thank you, sweetheart. What a nice thing to say to me. Patricia. Hi. And Margaret. I was thinking about you today. I was literally thinking about you today. I said, where is Aunt Margaret? I have not seen or heard from her. Hi, Aunt Margaret. And I think if I'm correct, your birthday's coming up soon, right? Hi, Lisa. Hi, Vivian. Hi, Dolly and Bailey and Michelle Kavanaugh. Yeah, it was a full moon. It was a very, very big day. Let me talk about the astrology, and then I'm going to answer, as many questions as I can for people. But I'm going to start with the astrology today because, first of all, let's start with that full moon. So here was my experience of the full moon. Now, it could be the profession that I'm in, but it seemed to me that, and I got a lot of texts on this and a lot of emails on this, that people were from this full moon very dysregulated. And it felt to me that many people, and this is a real psychological term, were off their rocker. That's what it felt like to me. It was intense. I know that my husband, Don, actually went to a visitation, a memorial for somebody who had just passed. In fact, he was at the funeral again today. There seems to be a lot of people, full moons bring that out in people. They bring out a big emotional swing. And this one was, I felt like a doozy because people were highly, highly emotional and dysregulated, almost like off their meds, it felt like. So if anybody else had that experience with other people, whether they were family members, just saying, or people that you know, so it just felt like that energy. And I'm hoping that kind of calms down for everybody's sake. Read between the lines. Anyway, also during that full moon, Mars opposed Uranus. So that just made this such a powerful full moon. And I think we're going to see the energy of that full moon trigger, if you will, this month of November. I think this month is a really, really rough, intense month. It's a lot about transformation. And we are going to have, Mercury. I'm going to talk about Mercury in retrograde. I'm going to talk about Jupiter in retrograde, and Saturn continues to be retrograde. So that's all a lot right there. But I think that this energy of this month is emotional and full of transformation. So first, let's talk about this. We have Mercury going retrograde, and it's in Vedic astrology. It's in Scorpio, and it's in the nakshatra called Anuradha. And at this particular time, it is. And then it changes nakshatras in the middle of this. But on November 9th, all the way until November 29th, so pretty much we're already in the pre-shadows phase of it. You can already feel the energy, particularly with the airport, the airlines, right? Everything that's going on with travel right now, that's Mercury. And Mercury retrograde makes things difficult in general. And it's in Scorpio. And Scorpio, Mercury rules communication and travel. And Scorpio is ruled by Mars. And at the same time, Mercury is aligned with Mars, and there'll be an exact conjunction on November 12th, which we'll talk about. But this Mercury retrograde, what is it? What is Mercury retrograde? A planet doesn't just go backwards; it slows down a lot. And in Vedic astrology, when a planet slows down, it becomes more powerful. So it's a very powerful time, and Mercury retrograde brings back people into our life. So because this is in Scorpio, and Scorpio is the hidden, and it can be the manipulative, and it can be secretive. It can be a lot of things like that. It could be anger. It could be intensity. It can be a lot of things, a lot of it water. So it's a lot of emotions. So I would be paying attention to suddenly somebody comes back into your life that perhaps at this time in your life, you get enough opportunity to decide what you want to do. Do you want this person back in your life? Do you not want this person back into your life? So I feel that November will give us a lot of experiences to set boundaries. I think it's going to be a very boundaried month. And so anybody, this would be a time, I should say, to reevaluate relationships. So again, anything with Mercury retrograde, it's the reevaluate, reassess, realign, revisit, those kind of things. So it's a powerful time for introspection for all types of relationships, where it's family relationships, because remember, we also have Thanksgiving coming up. And then we have, the holidays after that, but we're really stepping into that energy of Thanksgiving and what that brings up for people. So reevaluating relationships, even professional relationships, potentially leading to either the resolution of the conflicts or the need to end toxic connections. So Scorpio, because it's in Scorpio, Mercury's in Scorpio, it will give us another view to view our life and our situations that we're in with regards to how we communicate and the relationships that we pick. So this is going to be, I feel, of a month, November, because Mercury is going to be retrograde pretty much the entire month. So also, what do we expect during Mercury retrograde in Scorpio? It's going to intensify our conversations. So even I'm just now that I'm saying that, it does feel like I'm intensifying the conversation, because this is a powerful time for transformation. It's a powerful time to look at ourselves. What do we want to let go of? What is no longer serving us is going to be really important here. And people during this time period it may feel more serious. And it also, with this kind of a communication with Mercury, things may be less sugar-coated, maybe. There's certainly a potential for miscommunication here. And traditionally, when we have Mercury in retrograde, there'll be glitches in technology. So prepare well. Read an email before you send it. Think about it before you just send it. And make sure you're sending it to the correct person. Watch your computers. Computers could break easily. This is also not a time, if you can, not a time to sign contracts. Just isn't. Too many things may be incorrect. So travel may be amplified by this month, which means it may be really challenging. And we're just watching this now. In fact, I'm looking to make sure Michelle, my person, is going to be flying into Chicago. She's supposed to be on the plane now to fly into Chicago to help me over the weekend when we get to the All Souls event. I just hope that her plane, comes in somewhere. I don't even care if it's on time, but it just arrives, right? So anyway, this is also a month for uncovering secrets. Mercury retrograde in Scorpio will uncover a lot of hidden information. Here's another thing. Pay attention. And I say this all the time. Pay attention to your dreams. It may be a message from the other side. It may be your ability now, maybe to really see and assess things that maybe you need to work on, that it's a safe time now to work on things. So you might have a dream where it brings up people in the past, or it brings up an event in the past for you, and you're processing it. That's what this time period is actually good for. And then looking at it with no fear, and looking at it and going, maybe it's time I let go of that, or I work through that or something. So also, this can be a time where issues are related to power. And so we might see people navigating power struggles during this. So how do we navigate this time? Slow down and review. So reassess the way you're communicating, reassess your emotional responses. This, I'm telling you, is an emotional month. Yeah, a big emotional event month. So I would be cautious with signing new agreements. I would, if you don't need to. I would also prioritize being extra clear with communicating, especially if it's with sensitive or emotional topics, okay? And then pay attention to your intuition. Let me tell you, Scorpio is great for intuition. So that is amazing, because trust your gut feelings. Trust your gut feelings here. And again, back up what you can for your important data. I think that will be really important with this particular Mercury in retrograde. It's a big one, and you can already see it playing out right now. And I think as we get up to it, particularly when we get to November 12th, Mercury conjuncts Mars. When a planet conjuncts another planet, they're real close to each other, and it powers both planets up. So Mars represents anger, and Mercury is communication. So there could be a lot of heightened sense of outrage. A lot of things come up. So that's a day to watch, November 12th. I think every day's a day to watch in this month. This is a heck of a month here. We also have on November 11th something kind of amazing, which I'll talk about in a second. That's the 1111 portal. But we also have Jupiter retrograde. It's going retrograde. The largest planet is going retrograde on November 11th. In Vedic astrology, it'll be at 0 degrees of Cancer. And this is enormous because when it's retrograde, it becomes more powerful. Now, Jupiter brings blessings and wisdom. So perhaps this period of time in the middle of some deep chaos, some deep, deep, deep chaos, will have, blessings and some wisdom and those kind of things. So we should focus on the positive things, no doubt about it, because that's what Jupiter represents. Jupiter also represents deep spirituality too. And Jupiter is called the guru. So what will we be learning during this time? I think we're going to learn a lot. This kind of transit also emphasizes renewal, and clarity. And so it could also bring a lot of opportunities. It's particularly a good time for self-reflection, particularly a good time for that. I think this whole month is going to be a good time for that without the heightened rage that could go on this month. But it could. Whenever you even feel that kind of energy, just go inward. Go inward. Mm-hmm. Go inward. Go into the inner guru here. And on the 11th, we have a really special day on the 11th. In between all this stuff, we have a special day on the 11th. It's called the 1111 portal. Now, ironically, that is a 22 day because it's 11/11/2025, and 2025 is a 9 day. Hence, it actually makes it an 11/11 or 22, which is, any which way you look at it, is a very powerful day. And an 11/11 portal raises your consciousness. So it supports higher realms. So even in this time of, chaos, we're always surrounded, always, by angels and interplanetary energy and all kinds of our guides and our loved ones. So you never, ever forget that. So that day, set your intentions on the 1111 portal. Set your intentions. Meditate. Focus on your goals. Focus on your spiritual goals and raising your vibration. I mean, it's a perfect day for that. Perfect day for that one. So, and then on November 16th, if your birthday is November 16th until December 15th, the sun in Vedic astrology moves into Scorpio. So currently the sun in Vedic astrology is in Libra, but on the 16th it will go into Scorpio. That's a lot of planets in Scorpio. We're talking Mars, Mercury, and the sun. That's a lot of Scorpio energy. So that also, I think, sets a lot of intense transformative energy for this month. And if your birthday is during that period of time, really take some time for yourself to allow the emotions to come out. Like whatever your emotions are feeling, allow that to come out for you. I think it'd be a really good period of time for that. And then on November 19th, we have a new moon in Scorpio in Vedic astrology again. The Scorpio, and we're hearing a lot about the Scorpio. And it's in the nakshatra called Vishaka, and that means new beginnings and fresh starts. But remember, Mercury is still retrograde. Now, sometimes retrogrades bring us back situations to deal with, situations that perhaps were, we didn't feel like working with them before, but now they're back in our face. So it's also, Mercury is good for that. Retrograde. You know what it's good for too? To go back to learn something. Let's go back to finish something. It's really good for that. So this is a very powerful new moon, this new moon, because it brings deeper wisdom, because it's the nakshatra of Vishaka is ruled by Jupiter, and that brings again a lot of wisdom. So we're going to have a lot of wisdom this month, a lot of wisdom in the middle of what I would call, some sort of a storm there. I do it really, this energy, the large energy here. And on November 28th, Saturn, that has been retrograde, will go direct on November 28th. But that day, it always takes, a day it's stationary as it's turning. And that's a very powerful day, that November 28th. And that's going to be at 1 degree of Pisces in Vedic astrology. So things may be delayed or stalled. But once Saturn really gets off and moving direct, what it does is it really brings us back to a place of, what are we here to do? Things move a little forward. More opportunities will exist. So that's the end of November. But this November, I feel, is going to be heightened energies. I guess is the best way to say it. Heightened energies. Yeah, it just feels that way to me. And so if you are traveling, be very patient. I had to laugh because if you saw the show on Tuesday, it was quite extraordinary, the show that James and I did. It's quite extraordinary. We were talking about signs, basically, from the universe and how spirit presents itself. And we decided to do this totally spontaneously. We decided to do this, pick a page from this, The Quiet Mind, my favorite book. If you don't have it, it's a great book. So I said to James, give me a page. And he said 37, and it was all about peace. And it was about patience, I should say, about patience, which I thought was wonderful because we were talking about patience. So I think we're going to have a lot of signs from the universe. There you go. I think we are going to have a lot of signs from the universe. And so let me say a couple of things here before I forget. During that show, James decided quite spontaneously that he's going to be helping us do the roots of healing. So as you know, November 15th, I'm teaching a class with Dr. Shirley Pellizzari and Carrie Gonia, and we're going to be talking about the healing chaos. And all families bring in chaos. Come on. So you can find this on my website, kelleewhite.com. And I'm going to be talking about not just soul contracts, but soul imprints when the soul comes in. And from there, the families that we choose and the chaos that we bring with us, and that everybody brings in. It gives us all an opportunity to clear the air, if you will. And Dr. Shirley is going to be talking about dysregulation, when somebody's dysregulated, and giving us tips on somatic tips to help with dysregulation. And Carrie Gonia is going to be doing a family constellation. And then James is going to come in and do a healing meditation at the end to bring us all together. And if anybody knows chaos, it's James. So please join us for that. And that's November 15th. And on December 12th, I'm really excited because I'm teaching a class with Janelle Campbell. Now, if you know Janelle Campbell, she's an extraordinary medium from Australia, and we've been friends for years. And we're teaching a class on angels and archangels, and we're really excited. It's going to be about the guidance for 2026 because we need a lot of guidance, and the angels are here to help. So we're going to be talking about, we're going to be doing an angel meditation. We're going to have a conversation with connecting with angels and archangels. And then Janelle is going to do a live angelic channeling for the energy of 2026. And it will really give us a lot of insight into the year of 2026 and how to deal with a lot of things. So it's a practical way to bring angelic wisdom into your daily life. So join us. It's on Friday in the United States. It's December 12th, but in Australia, it's December 13th. So you'll have to go to my website and see that. So, and then Patricia Deckard Weaver, she said, Kellee, what advice do I have for us as we are soon entering a new year? And you're an 8 of spades, so 3-2 is an 8 of spades, which I love 8 of spades. They're very powerful. They come here to work hard and and heal. They're healers too. So what advice do I have? First of all, when you even asked that question, I thought to myself, you should take that class with us, the angelic class, because we're going to be talking about 2026. My thoughts right now, and James and I are going to be doing a prediction show in December on 2026. My thoughts right now are that we need to be really loving and kind to ourselves and to one another. Ultimately, both ourselves and one another. And get as much work done on yourself. So I work a lot with empaths, and a lot of this audience tonight will be empaths. And empaths take on everybody's stuff. They just take on everybody's stuff. And so I think 2026 will be a year to really work on becoming who you really are. I think it's really, really important to know thyself and not taking on everybody's stuff and living in a pain body. So I think that 2026 is going to give us that opportunity to step in for healing. I think it's going to be an extraordinary healing year. Is it going to be full of chaos? Yes. Yes, it will be. But even in the worst of chaos, it's an extraordinary time to do healing. Extraordinary. Remember, this is a duality planet. Earth is duality. We could do this and we could do that. We can have chaos and we can go inward. Now that I learned years ago. It's true. It's true. So I hope that helps. Kathy Shelton Rick says, Kellee, you're having healing. You're having surgeries. Surgeries heal issues. And will there be any issues with recovering post-discharge? I'm not sure when you're having your surgery, Kathy, but if you're having surgery, anybody who's having surgery right now, actually my brother just had a hip replacement, and I was amazed how it went so well for him. So these are amazing times for healing, having the surgeries and healing. So I do think so. I think you're going to be in a good shape, Kathy. And remember, positive thoughts with that. Whatever you think, positive thoughts. And this is from Renee. Hi, Renee Rossiter. She said, I had to share this with you because I've been experiencing Mavis so very much. So Mavis Patilla was a mentor, dear friend of James, of mine, and just really one of the loves of our life. Extraordinary medium, extraordinary spiritual teacher. And she is out on the trail working hard right now for all of us. So you said that you've been experiencing Mavis so much. Isn't that amazing? And this was something I'd never heard before. She said, I hope it's okay to say. She said, I was listening to this immaculate bird song, and Mavis loved birds. She loved the song of birds. So I love that you said this. Mavis said, hearing the birds is the resonance. That's the word that James and I used the other day. And she said to experience what color the bird song is. And I said, it sounds like a yellow ball of light. And she said, the resonance is the song and my experiencing it. I'm the receptor, and what occurs is an oscillation between the resonance of the birds and myself as the receptor of spirit. In that oscillation, back and forth between resonance and receptor is God's spirit, and that's the oscillation. How fascinating. That sounds totally like Mavis. Totally Mavis. And thank you for sharing that. I love that. Laura Crum says, hi, Laura. She says, in these crazy times, I think reflection is so important as it keeps us from running down the same path that proves to go nowhere. Right on, sister. Right on. That's so true. Reflection, respect, renew. And that's all part of this Mercury retrograde. Reflection, respect, renew, the 3 R's of revelation. I love that, Laura. I love that. That's fabulous. I think that's really accurate. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Mavis was the sweetest person, right? Just the sweetest person. Yeah, Mari, I do think that it is going to be a healing year in a lot of ways. You know, I do think that it's going to be. So I'm looking forward to also, Laura, to the calm after the storm of November. And I do think it will bring wisdom. It has to be. It has to, bring that. Lisa says, you helped me so much. So grateful for the dynamic duo is back on Tuesday. I'm so excited. Yes, you can have a card on 9/4. Let's get you a card. And I'm going to use the angel numbers today. I'm going to use the angel numbers because we're talking about angels. And oh, how funny is this? That was funny. I got the 1111. So everybody make a wish out there. This is important. Pay attention to that 1111 portal. That's for sure. I think this is going to be a powerful month. In fact, everybody should keep a journal just for this. Okay, here we go, Lisa. Ooh, 420. And I saw this card once before, 420. Isn't that the marijuana card? And it says, relax. So, relax. Okay, Dolly says 333 destiny numbers. So 333 are the master numbers. And that means the masters. Whenever you see 333, you've always got some higher wisdom, higher power, higher wisdom around you, which is great. Oh, yeah, Pammy. Yeah, Janelle is a beautiful soul. It is so true. So I think, Kathy, what about healing? I think that once you have the surgery, you'll heal very, very well. Okay. And so Melissa keeps seeing the number 333. That's very good, Melissa, because that has everything to do with the masters paying attention with this. Okay, Liz Z, she says, hi, Liz. She says, what if a baby is due during that time? My granddaughter is due sometime between December 1st and December 15th. How fabulous. That's a great time. That's a great time. Anytime a baby comes in is a very special time. And remember, that soul chose this period of time, this timeline. So I think that's fantastic, Liz. First of all, if the baby is born from December 1st on, Mercury will not be retrograde. But James and I were both born with Mercury in retrograde. Just sometimes things take a little slower. Sometimes it brings us back. Who knows? Who knows? I think that, oh, yeah, Susan, you're right. 11/11 is Veterans Day. That's right. Okay. Denise says, Sherry Traxinger, holding you in my heart. The holidays are so tricky for many of us. Oh, that's so sweet. It is, right? Shamina Visram, she said, I would love a message. And your birthday is 3:30. Let's get you a message from the angels. Ooh, here we go with the threes. 303. Forgive. Forgive. I don't know what that means for you, but forgive. Okay. Christy, hi, Christy. She says, November 12th is my 37th wedding anniversary. Well, I'm sure that November 12th will be, just speak very lovingly to each other. That's what I would suggest. I think that that's a day. It's a powerhouse day. And just be, loving and kind to one another. I think everything is, just because the planets are one way, it's a certain energy that comes out. But if you have an advance and a warning or an idea of the energy, just come from the heart. If you come from the heart, everything is good. Okay, Christy, here we go. Let's get you a card from your daughter, honey. We have been in dreams together. Pay attention to dreams together. Okay, particularly with the three of you, with your husband too. Okay, pay attention to those. I think that's important. Elena says, I'm not getting out of bed on that day. I know. Listen, these are fascinating times. Gail McDade says, my birthday is on 12/4, which is also called the full cold moon. Wow, I did not know that. And that's an Ace of Diamonds. So Ace of Diamonds, December 4th, Ace of Diamonds, is sometimes they'll say it's for love or money. Sometimes it's hard. You either choose a career or you choose a relationship. Every once in a while, I'll know somebody that was able to combine the two. And you may be one of those people. I don't know. We shall see. Let's see here. Laurel Davies says, sounds like it's going to be a wonderful Roots of Healing. If we could send you photos, we could send in signs from the universe photos. Oh, I would love that. You could have an assignment each week and ask the universe to send each of us a sign. I think that's a great idea. What would that look like? I mean, take a look at the different kind of signs the universe is showing everybody or showing you, and send the pictures in. You can always pop them up on this. I think that would be kind of fun to see. Actually, thank you, Rebecca. That's so sweet. Thank you. So Billy Hopkins, hi Billy. I'm flying to Phoenix for my son's wedding on the 12th. Anything to be aware of? Yeah, pack patience. You're going on an intense day during a Mercury retrograde. We're already watching plane delays right now. So, Billy, bring the best book or the best iPods or the best whatever. Relax. Just move through the energy. I mean, I think that would be the best thing I could say. And, check the flights, because a lot of flights are, being canceled left and right now. So, I mean, Billy, my hat's off to you. That is a big one. Okay, Renee Wolcott, Kelly, my birthday is 11/17. Let's get you a card from the angels. So 11/17. So your birthday will be Mercury retrograde this year. And so what does that look like if this time period is your birthday? Well, it looks like, again, things coming back from the past for the whole year, not just this period, Renee. It would probably be the whole year, because it's a Mercury influence. So that could be amazing. Could be amazing. 11/17. And you are a 3 of clubs. Wildly intuitive. James is also a 3 of clubs. So let me get you this card. 66. Revisit. So anything you see with an RE on it, it always has to do with Mercury retrograde. Revisit. So maybe this year for you, Renee, will be about revisiting certain situations that, you need to deal with. Okay, Emil. Hi, Emil. And your birthday is 9/21. I'm new. Thank you for joining us. Is this what you need? Yes, so 9/21 happens to be my granddaughter's birthday. And it's September, the song, Earth, Wind, and Fire. So do you remember the 21st night of September? You might be too young, Emil, to remember that. But September 21 is 3 of clubs also. And I just talked about a 3 of clubs. Very, very, very psychic. A 3 of clubs is very psychic, particularly that realm of 3 of clubs, right around that September time right there. So very psychic. And let me get you a card from the angels. Ooh, 2020 is the card. Bonds. So maybe this year you'll be looking at bonds. In fact, Emil, your birthday on September 21st was an eclipse this year. It was a big eclipse on your birthday. So I would think this will be a year for great change. And Tanya Fulton, 8/23, another 3 of clubs. My goodness, that is James's birthday. So let's get you a card, Tanya. Here we go. 41/41, habit. So it may mean that you want to look at different habits that you've had, or, could be looking at habits. Okay, a card for your granddaughter. Her birthday is 11/30, a 3 of hearts. Oh, very special. I love the 3 of hearts. I love them. Okay, here we go. How great is this? And her birthday is 11/30, right? And there are 2 30s, and this is 3003. Inspiration. What a great card for her. Inspiration. Wow, I bet she will be the love of your life. Vivian, let's get you a card here, Vivian. 27/13. Mindfulness. So practice mindfulness. 27/13. It's an odd number. 27/13. Okay, let's see. Laurel Davies said, I had a sign of a new church yesterday. Then the universe brought in another church. Beautiful. Wisconsin must have beautiful drives for Don and me. It does. Wisconsin has the really special drives, and I'm looking forward. I'm driving to Lake Geneva tomorrow, and Lake Geneva is really beautiful. And we're having some lovely weather, although I understand. Dee Dee, tell me if I'm wrong with this, if I'm off, but I think it's going to snow Saturday and Sunday. We have not had snow yet, but I'm looking forward to it. Okay, Jerry Dombrowski, she says, I was born on 11/22, 11/11/22. Is there a portal or meaning in those numbers? Yes. I mean, those are very powerful numbers in numerology. 11 is the teacher, and a 22 is the builder. So that's a very, very, very powerful numbers with that. 11/22 is a powerful house. And 11/22 also, if you were born on 11/22, it is a Jack of Hearts. So that would mean lots of sacrifice in a deep life, and it could be of sacrifice, a deep life of sacrifice. So yeah, it's an important one. Tanya says, my first granddaughter is due via C-section on December 17th, the same day that my oldest son passed. Oh my gosh, and 8/23 is your birthday. Yes, let me get you a card from your son. How's that? Why don't we do that? Wow, Tanya, that's a lot. And your granddaughter is due on that day? Wow, that's an interesting plot twist, right? Here we go. Well, here we go with your son. I am with the rest of the family. I'm with the rest of the family there. Oh, that's good. 1111, Melissa says, is your grandpa's and your soul dog's birthday. I love the soul dog. Bailey says, any messages for me? I miss my son and pets. Like it, get you a card, Bailey. Here we go. If I had only known then what I know now, I would have lived differently. Well, sometimes that's what happens when our loved ones get on the other side. They're like, if I had been a little more conscious, if I had just done some things differently. But that's the whole thing. You come to Earth and you kind of forget everything, and then you live a life, and that's the way I think it's supposed to be. Cheryl Anderson, hi Cheryl. Kelly, my mom on May 11th just passed away, and you told us it would be really quick. It was 4 months from the diagnosis. Is she okay with how I took care of her before she passed? It still doesn't seem real yet. Yeah, yeah, she is, of course. She is. I think she's thrilled that you took care of her before she passed, Cheryl. Let's see if we can get a card over here. I've got Jill. She's definitely around you. Definitely around you. She doesn't want you to feel guilty. You did a great job. Now she says, I have no pain. Okay, so remember that. She's in no pain. And that's often the first thing they will say to us, actually. Lisa says, is this a good time to declutter? It's an excellent time. Holding on to so much of my parents' items? Okay, let's talk about that, Lisa Kupka, because that is the truth. It's really hard to let go of our loved ones' stuff, and yet they want us to, because they want us to be free from the stuff. And pick and choose what's good. It's hard, I know. Listen, I've been through this. Yeah, it's a hard one. But then there's a lightness of it. There's a lightness of doing it. And, again, if there's something really, really special, we used to say, move your hand away from your heart. It's hard to do that, especially if you're an empath. But it is a great time to declutter. That would be going back in Mercury retrograde. It's an excellent time to clean up the office, to go through things, You know what, Lisa, I think your mom and dad will be like, now keep that one. I'll let go of that. I'll let go of that. I don't even know why we got it in the first place. Okay. I cannot on YouTube. I'm not sure, Sherry, what you mean by that. I think I'm on YouTube. Maggie, can you have an angel card? You betcha. Hold on a second. Ooh, 616, Maggie. 616. Sounds like an area code, doesn't it? Sanctuary. Ooh, that's a good one. That would be a great thing on 11/11 to do like a sanctuary, time during that day if you could. Gail McDade says, definitely must have chosen love this time because the money ain't there. She said, you're so special. Thanks for everything you do. Okay, Gail, seriously, that's very funny. So most Ace of Diamonds choose money. I mean, to work hard. They work their ass off, usually Ace of Diamonds. And they'll say, but I don't have love. That's right. It's like one or the other. It's a funny one. But every once in a while, I'll meet one that has both. Every once in a while. There's Laurel picture. There's no picture upload there. Oh, I don't know. Oh, maybe she's right. Maybe do that on YouTube. Hi, Renee. Let's see. Just enrolled in a class on November 15th. Good, Kathy. That's great. So, okay. Laura Crum says, my mom's birthday is 11/21. May I have a card from heaven from her? You bet. Here we go. Interesting, Laura. Now, why would this be? I am sorry. Please forgive me. So I don't know. Are you holding any guilt, or are you holding anything? Or did your mother, was she, more challenging at all? Was that possible? Is that at all possible? So you have to let me know on that one. Okay, yeah, Carissa, yes, you can have a card. Let's get you a card from the angel. Carissa, here we go. 99, truth, the truth. Here you go. That's an interesting one. Here we go. Truth. I'm not sure what that means, but I'm not sure. Okay, Melissa says, what are the beliefs of the afterlife or communication from the deceased? Well, I have a lot of beliefs on the afterlife. It exists. It very much exists. And there's definitely, anybody can communicate with the deceased by just having a thought. Just having a thought, they're already there anyway. Crystal Cook, Kelly from New Zealand, listening from New Zealand. Yes, I'm a 5 of spades. My friends have suffered a sudden loss of much loved male. Can you get a card for them? You betcha. You know what, Crystal, first of all, I'm very sorry. I will tell you, there was so much sudden loss happening. I have a very good friend who was in New Zealand when she got a call about a sudden loss. Interesting enough. But let me give you a card from friend. Let's see. Ooh, I watch over you every day. So Crystal, make sure that your friend knows that, okay? What he's watching over everybody. So please make sure that you know that. Okay. Teresa Avila says, my birthday is 6/15. Yes, June 15. June 15 is a 2 of diamonds. 2 of diamonds loves partnerships. They're very creative. They're often healers. They're wildly creative. And they're great in business, usually great in business. So let's get you a card from the angels. 888. How great is that? Abundance. That's always my favorite card. Abundance. I think that is great. Yes, Laurel, I will be driving in the snow. I know I'm from LA, but I go very, very slow, and sometimes real slow. Okay, Bridget Olson, I've been going through some very tough things recently, and I'm praying that the new year will bring back my happiness. Okay, so let's see. You were born 7/29. So 7/29, July 29 is a Queen of Hearts. So here's the thing, Bridget. A Queen of Hearts is somebody who does feel deeply on a lot of things. So can you put yourself in a good frame of mind? Because this can be a whole new beginning for you. If you have to look at it like this, a whole new beginning. We'll all go through things that are tough on Earth. Every one of us is going to go through tough things. And then the sun shines again. So you have to be, an optimist. So I think you'll have a much, much better year. Okay. Hi, Jen Gurney. Let's get you a card from your beloved husband. Again, you have nothing to feel guilty about. Jen, keep doing whatever you're doing. Keep doing whatever you're doing here. Okay. Cheryl says, I needed to hear that. You're bawling your eyes out. Oh, honey. I'm glad you needed to hear that. So Anne Margaret says, check out Vatsu. Oh, I love Michael Mastro. He was on our show. He was on our show that James and I did. He was a guest. Do you remember that, Anne Margaret? He was a guest. Michael Mastro was a guest maybe 3 years ago. I don't know, something like that. As a matter of fact, because of him, we did our home using the Vastu technique for the remodel that we did. It was an extraordinary feng shui technique. Vastu is extraordinary. And yeah, he's an expert, definitely, of declutter. You're right, Anne Margaret. That's a really good one. Oh, you can't post pictures on YouTube. I'm sorry, Sherry. I didn't know that. Cindy said, do you see or feel or hear my lifelong best friend that just passed? Thank you. Oh, Cindy, so much of that is happening. Oh, I got chills. She's definitely around. Let's get you a card here. She's definitely around, but that is happening. You are never alone, Cindy. You are never alone. I am seeing a lot of best friends passing. I'm seeing it a lot. I am surprised. And then that's right, Anne Margaret, November 25th. Okay, that's very good. Let's get you a card, Anne Margaret. Okay, 911. Well, if anybody could handle this, it's you. Inevitability. Well, at least I know you have a good sense of humor. Renee says, I'm missing my mom. I can't feel her around me. And after 20 years this year. Well, what happens, Renee, is if we're really thinking about them, they are there, and they're always there. But after 20 years, sometimes they go and they do their things. Energy's a funny thing. You're thinking about them, though, they're there. They're there for you. She's there with you, Renee. Don't worry about that. Gretchen White. Hi, Gretchen. It has been a while. It's been quite a year. 6/8. Yes. Let's get you a card. So 6/8, June 8 is a 9 of diamonds. Let's get you a card from the angels. Triumph. Oh, this is a really good one. 4444. Triumph. How great is that, Gretchen? Cindy says, and my other best friend Debbie absolutely loves you. Oh, so sweet. Thank you. Lisa says, can I have a card from my parents if I'm going to be decluttering their items? You're going to be decluttering them. Let's get you a card. I'm not sure what this means, but it was my time to go. I guess it was their time to go. I'm going to tell you what, declutter away, Lisa. Declutter away. Thank you, Amy. That's sweet. I get in now. I don't know if you guys do this, but I get real, I don't know, colors. I'm an empath. I have to have the right colors around me or I go nuts. I really do. Same with sound or smell. Oh my God. Or sound. Yeah. It's part of that empath thing. Okay. So Kathy says, how will my surgeries go for me related to the gastroparesis? I think, Kathy, they're going to go well. I have a good feeling about this. Okay. Josie Jackson says, my dad's birthday's today. I miss him. He passed many years ago. What card is he? So if his birthday is today, November 6th, he would have been an Ace of Diamonds. Ace of Diamonds. So Ace of Diamonds, and you're a Jack of Diamonds. Yeah, that would have made you guys very, very close. No doubt about it. Drop the mic, right, Anne-Margaret? 911, and I called 911 a year ago. That's right, you did. Okay, I'm telling you, that was a funny card of all the people to get that. That's a great one for you. Thank you, Rose. I try to keep up my sense of humor. Mari Gunji says, I met this DNA activation healer last weekend by accident. She told me I have a healer's energy. Well, how great is that? I mean, listen, I'm sure you do, Mari. So what would you want to do with the healer's energy? And again, this November month, is going to be a month that will bring back for people things, bring back things. So maybe if you had been thinking about, learning about healer or finding your life purpose, or I don't know, any of that, this is an energy of things that come back and to help us figure things out. So this, as much as I have been stressing that it is a little stressful of a month, there also will be some extraordinary things that will happen because this is a great month for healing for yourself, to do healing on yourself. Excellent month for that. So maybe that will be what people are doing. And Cindy says, I'm meeting a new lady tomorrow for companion care. Let's pull a card for that. You betcha, Cindy. 369. This is perfect. Compassion. So Cindy, you want to make sure that you choose somebody with compassion. Not phoniness, but somebody with real compassion. It's one thing to be an empath, and I've talked about this before. You can be an empath, that's great. You feel, that's wonderful. What's the next level of that? The next level is compassion. And compassion is an action. So it's really important that that person that is your caregiver has compassion. You don't want a nightmare caregiver. You want somebody that has true, honest integrity and compassion. Okay, there you go. Kimmy says, hi, Kimmy. She says, hi, Kellee. Loved your episode with James. Wasn't this a good one? I thought that was such a great episode. It was so fun. Ooh, you're 11. Awaken. So I'll tell you what, that 11, awaken, watch that 11. And your birthday, happy birthday to you. You just had a birthday, 11/3. And that makes you a 4 of diamonds. We call 4 of diamonds the Ford truck because they just keep going. So Jen says, Jan says, this is exactly what I needed to hear. I'd love a card, and you're 1230. So 1230 is is an Ace of Hearts on December 30th, Ace of Hearts. And my best friend Charlene is also on that day. And my other very dear daughter, stepdaughter, has a birthday on that day. Shannon, who I love so much. So it's a very special day to me, that 1230. Let's get you a card from the angels. Ooh, 77. Purpose. That's what I was saying. Now, Sonia says, I've been seeing deers in front of my house and feathers. Okay, Sonia, are you at my house? Me too. Deers and feathers, both. And deers, I was driving to Madison the other day, and a deer just stared at me, and it was a buck. It had the horns and stuff. I don't think I'm saying that right. But anyway, just kind of stared at me. And I went, oh boy, that's a message. Plus we had 6 in our yard the same day, 6. So there's a lot. So deers are very spiritual. They really bring us to a spiritual truth. So think like that. And the feathers, I always connect feathers with our spirit guides. Always. Or certainly loved ones. In my case, I always, whenever I see the feathers, I always think of, I know it's spirit guides for me. But that's a big one. I'm glad that you mentioned that. And Renee, if you're drawn to Reiki, Reiki's a wonderful place to start. There's some extraordinary Reiki cards. Leslie says, can I have a card from my dad? Yes, he's been gone 8 years, and you still have to go through his things. Okay, so yes, let's get you a card from your dad. Hold on a second. As a soul, I can be in several places at once. Oh, I love this card, though. Your dad is definitely around, and go through his things. It's a good time to do this. Hi, Frank. Your birthday. That's right. Your birthday's tomorrow. And your anniversary is 11/11. Frank, I'm going to get you 2 cards, okay? I'm going to get you an angel card. Hold on. Ooh, 1221. Symbiosis. Symbiosis. What is this? Symbiosis is often how we're deeply connected to somebody else. So symbiosis, I wonder what that is about. Something to think about. And let me get you a card from the other side. This is interesting. It's not your fault. So I'm not sure if that's from your father. I'm not sure. That's a good one. That's a good one, Frank. And you have to keep us posted. Those are big. This is a big month for you. Okay, Lois Grogan says, my dad passed last October. I think of him daily and hope he's at peace. Oh, absolutely, Lois. No doubt about it. Absolutely. Linda says, in fact, you know what, Lois, let me get you a card. I just keep feeling, remember me by the happy memories that we created. So that is a really, really good one. Remember that. He kept urging me to do that. Linda says, may I have a card 926? Yes, you can. Oh, I'm sorry. That was one I just put away. Hold on a minute. 88, reward. That's a good one. 88, reward. Here we go. Dolly says, my husband has been gone since 2002. Is he around? Of course he's around, honey. Hold on. There is no time where I am. Time is only on the earth. So just look around. Dolly, he's definitely around. I don't think he would ever not be there for you. Okay? All right. Everybody, I've got to get going. Renee says that there's an owl who's been hooting. I love owls. Love, love, love. Wait, Connie says, can I have a card from my daughter, Heather? From your daughter, Heather? You bet, Connie. Here we go. This, they say often, I am not dead. I am not dead. Boy, that was the first thing that my mom said to James when she died. And he was on an airplane. He didn't even know it. He called me and he goes, your mom says she didn't die. She's not dead. Which was very funny. Because he had no way of knowing that she had just passed. It was very, very funny. So anyway, everybody, join me on November 15th, if you can, for Roots of Healing. Join me in December for our angel class. It's going to be extraordinary with the angel meditation and a channeling and all of that. And then next Tuesday, James and I on our show, I think, we're talking about a soul having a human experience. What James and I are trying to do is, on our Tuesday show, really touch spiritual conversations. So join us on Tuesday for that. Trying to think if there's anything else that I have left off. Oh, I do have my app if you want to join me for 5 o'clock somewhere, and go to my app. And I think the next one is November 14th. I am not going to be doing Power of 10 this month for November, but I will do one more in December. I just don't have the date yet. All right. But really, much love, everybody. Have a great week and have lots of patience. I think patience is a virtue, and we're going to need it. Okay. And I'm looking forward to seeing anybody who's out there who's come up to me and say hi at the All Souls Retreat. I'm really excited about that in Wisconsin. All right. Great to see you, Ann Margaret. It's good to see you, honey. All right. Take care, my friends. See you later.
You've been listening to Ask Me Anything, featuring spiritual medium and psychotherapist Kellee White.